everybody, it's Jeff from New York, and we are back in New Orleans. That's right, we're jumping all around the country right now, and we're on Bourbon Street for never-seen footage of Bourbon Street during the daytime. By the way, that Crystal's Burger joint that we just saw is the southern answer to the northern White Castle. I've eaten at a lot of Crystal and White Castles in my day, and as I get older, I don't appreciate them as much as I did when I was in college. And on the left here, we have the Hard Rock Cafe, the Hard Rock Hotel on Canal Street, which is very close to here. Unfortunately, was the site of that huge collapse that happened several months ago. Several construction workers died, and it's my understanding that until the rubble's completely cleared, those bodies are still in that rubble. The city has put off recovering those bodies until it's perfectly safe. But you know what? It's been several months, and for the sake of the families involved, let's go, New Orleans. Also coming up on the left here is Galatoire's. It's a famous institution here in New Orleans, especially on Bourbon Street. It was opened in 1905 by a French immigrant, and it's still family-owned to this day, 5th generation. Galatoire's 33 Bar and Steakhouse is somewhat new. I think it opened in 2015. It's opened up right next door to the old restaurant. It's a high-end restaurant, and jackets are required. Just a reminder, this is Cray Cray the Crawfish from Louisiana. He shows up somewhere in all my New Orleans videos, so please help me find him. Be the first to spot Cray Cray in this video and leave a comment below with the timestamp you spotted him, and you'll get a shout out on an upcoming video on this channel. It's truly amazing how much quieter and cleaner, I might add, Bourbon Street is during the daytime than it is at night. I do have a Bourbon Street at night video. Make sure you check that one out on this channel. It's a little bit crazy. We're now at the intersection of Bienville and Bourbon, and on the left-hand side is Arnaud's, another famous New Orleans restaurant. It's been here forever, at least over a century. It's the the peach-colored place here with the green shutters. It's closed right now, obviously. And just like Galatoire's up the street, Arnaud's has a satellite restaurant right next door as well called Remoulade. It's an oyster bar, Remoulade being a sea fish sauce. And now we're going to take a quick detour here on Bourbon Street and enter Musical Legends Park, which is a small park off of Bourbon Street, and it features life-size bronze statues of New Orleans famous musicians. Some of these life-size bronze statues include the great Al Hirt, Pete Fountain, Fats Domino, Chris Owens, Ronnie Cole, Louis Prima, Alan Toussaint, and Irma Thomas. Tables and chairs are available for sitting down and listening to live jazz music that starts daily at 10 o'clock in the morning until closing time. The Cafe Beignet can be found at the far side of the park, offering cold drinks, coffee, beignets, and small snacks. This fountain coming up on the right is actually called the Pete Fountain. Get it? Isn't that clever? All of the money that's donated into the fountain or tossed into the fountain goes to buy band equipment for local area schools. And so much for our little detour. Let's get back heading down Bourbon Street. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. When you do, you're automatically enrolled in the next $50 gift card giveaway here on the New York channel. Another big difference between day and night here on Bourbon Street is at night there is live music coming out of every door and window along this street. The daytime, not so much, but you do run across some live acts along Bourbon Street, but it's fewer and farther in between. And yet another difference between day and nighttime here on Bourbon Street, as I watch that truck make a left onto Bourbon Street, is that there are no motor vehicles allowed on Bourbon Street after sundown. Something else to consider is that if music is your thing, and who doesn't like music, Bourbon Street's okay, but Frenchman Street is the place to go. It's within walking distance from here, and it's huge with the local crowd. Much bigger party atmosphere, but it's not the same type of falling down drunk party atmosphere you see here on Bourbon Street at night. Frenchmen Street is a more sophisticated local type of crowd, but the more and more I go there, the more I realize that it's not a secret anymore, and there's a lot more tourists on Frenchmen Street now than there used to be in past years. But like I said, the music is much, much better on Frenchmen Street than it is on Bourbon Street, and I do have a video on Frenchmen Street on this channel, so make sure you check that out. And it looks like we have some live music coming out of the club here on the left, and if I'm not mistaken, it sounds like the song Valerie by Amy Winehouse. Let's quickly check it out, shall we? I always liked Amy Winehouse, and over the past few years she's become my favorite underground artist. Oh, you people are going to have to think a lot quicker if you want to keep up with my wit. By the way, if you check out that Bourbon Street at Night video on this channel that I spoke about earlier, you'll see that I go into a lot of these clubs. I spend a lot of time in them, and there's a lot of music in that video, so check it out. I know you'll enjoy it. And as we head north-northeast towards Esplanade Avenue, you'll notice that the buildings are getting much, much older. As if the buildings in French Quarter weren't old enough, these are really getting old around here. Most of these buildings are considered historical landmarks and cannot be changed in any way, only maintained. Except, I guess, of course, for the neon signs, but when you think about it, they're kind of temporary, not really permanent structures. New Orleans is known for its courtyards, and coming up on the right here, that yellow wall with the gates, is a Bourbon Street entrance to the Court of Two Sisters, a famous fine dining restaurant here in the French Quarter. The main entrance is on Royal Street, which is a block over. The French Quarter is known for its historic buildings and its balconies with wrought iron railings and always some kind of tropical flowers growing over them. These are the famous balconies where beads are thrown during one of the many parades that come down here on Bourbon Street. But for a better example of the French Quarter architecture and these wrought iron balconies is on Royal Street, the next block over. And guess what? That's right, there's a Royal Street video on this channel. Just check that one out as well. On the right here is the Bourbon Orleans Hotel, and as you can see, there's construction going on here. It actually started all the way down on Canal Street, which is where we started from, and it's working its way towards Esplanade Avenue, taking a long time. I'm talking about years to just go these several miles here on Bourbon Street. And that's probably due to the very, very old infrastructure underneath these streets. Before we end here at the intersection of St. Anne and Bourbon Street, congratulations to the Duke of Haas who found Cabby in the latest New York video, which was the Grand Central Terminal video. So congratulations, New York Haas. And they mentioned in the comments that they were very pleased with themselves. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please like, comment, ask some questions, and most importantly, subscribe by clicking on the button on the left. You can visit all of my New York videos by clicking on the top right, or check out my videos on other favorite places to visit by clicking on the bottom right. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you around the city.